The race for Wisconsin governor is now wide open. Governor Tony Evers today announcing he will not run for a third term. Let's get right to political director Matt Smith with us this afternoon. Matt, the governor's announcement having a big ripple effect across this race.
Already tonight, Derek, we're seeing the long list of candidates emerging, and we are tracking them all at this hour. First, the governor and his major decision today. The governor just appearing at a ribbon-cutting event in Brown Deer tonight, his first appearance since his announcement. The governor, though, moments ago leaving from an underground garage, making no comments or speaking with reporters, leaving his announcement tonight to a pre-recorded video.
It's why Wisconsin, I'm announcing that I will not be running for a third term.
Tonight, Democratic Governor Tony Evers ending weeks of speculation, announcing in a pre-recorded video online he won't seek a third term as governor.
So would I win if I ran the sixth time? Of course, no question about that. But whether I'd win or not has never been part of my calculus about running again.
Evers, who'd been considering a re-election bid for months, first beat then Governor Scott Walker in 2018 and went on to win a second term in 2022. His latest job approval at 48%, the highest among any Wisconsin politician, yet 55% of voters telling Marquette's latest poll they didn't want Evers to seek a third term. Is it better for the party if there's a massive primary or just a couple of candidates?
I think that primaries are a healthy exercise within democracy and within our party.
Democratic Party of Wisconsin Chair Devin Remacher this afternoon as a quick and long list of potential Democratic candidates emerges, including Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Attorney General Josh Kaul, and Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, and Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
If he makes that decision, then I'm going to be, going home, continuing to talk with my wife and the rest of my family, because I don't run by myself. I run with them as well, and so we'll have to take that into consideration before I make a final decision.
Would David Crowley jumping in influence you in any way?
Look, I don't make decisions based off of what other people decide to do. David is a friend. He's a champion for Milwaukee as well. We've known each other for over 20 years. Of course, we'll have conversations, and we'll see what happens.
And Matt, I know you're working the phones, talking to sources about a hearing of other potential candidates tonight.
The list appears to be growing at this hour, including Democratic State Senator Kelda Roys from Madison. She is seriously considering a bid, a source close to her says. And former Lieutenant Governor and U.S. Senate candidate Mandela Barnes tells me late this afternoon he is considering a bid as well. Take a look at this tweet tonight, raising some eyebrows. Former Republican Governor Scott Walker tweeting this picture of a Make America Great Again hat. Of course, President Trump, the 45th and 47th president. Walker writing, interesting. Walker, if he ran and won, would be Wisconsin's 45th and 47th governor. There are no indications, though, Walker is preparing to launch a bid, but I guess we will see.
Certainly sparked a lot of chatter. Yeah. All right, Matt Smith, thank you very much, our political director. And after the announcement, we got a chance to talk to the Republican candidates for governor. They say Tony Evers' decision does not change their campaign strategy.
Now that it's not Governor Evers that I'm running against, is going to be someone probably sharply like him. And so we've got our plan. We are aggressively getting around the state.
Nothing's changed as far as I'm concerned, except we're retiring Tony Evers on his own free volition.
Those candidates part of a virtual call this afternoon. The gubernatorial primary is August 11th next year, with the general election November 3rd, 2026.